Ladies and gentlemen, Primetime CP23 here with my 100th video. That's right, 100. 100. I didn't actually think we would get here. I thought I would get bored and stop doing this. Just full disclosure, just being honest here. But we haven't got bored yet, and actually we have just started seeing the most views. We're gaining some subscribers, we're gaining some traction, and I'm very happy about it. And I mean, I've been trying to do more. I've been trying to put make this more of a grind, more content, everything, more social media presence. And I'm just really thankful that I've gotten to this point. I'm really glad at this moment that I didn't just give up months ago, and that I'm still doing this. So to everyone who has watched, even if you've only watched one of my videos, or even if this is my first video that you've watched, thank you very much for staying tuned. I do appreciate it. So, for today's video, I kind of wanted to do something a little different. I'm normally not into the whole react videos, but I thought, given the circumstance, today would be a good time to rewatch my best game of Halo ever. This is the only perfection I have ever gotten in a Halo game. It was, let me see when it was recorded. That's not the right map. So, the 2 days after Christmas in 2013 is when this was recorded. As you can see, I went 34-0. And now, one little thing, I didn't really play the objective, and there is some camping towards the end of the game, where I was just, sitting around waiting for the next beam rifle to come up. By that point, it had occurred to me that I had not died, and I really didn't want to die. So, we're going to go ahead and get started. I have not watched this gameplay in several years. I think I may have watched it once or twice since it happened, but not a whole lot. I did play a crap ton of Halo 4. Halo 4 was by far my best Halo. It was my first Halo that I really grinded. And so, here we go. Actually, I wanted to take this moment to go over a few, really just one key thing in my gaming life, and that was why, my gaming name. That's about as close as I get to dying in this game. So in several of those shots should have been kills, I'm just saying. So in 2012, I moved to Arkansas. And I didn't really think I would make any friends or anything. I kind of just thought that I would live there for a year or so until a job or something allowed me to move back to Kansas City, where I was born and raised. But then along the way, I found a little video game store in the area called the Mammoth Game Vault. And thankfully I did, because I met some of the best friends I've ever had at that store. And it kind of shaped what I want to do with the rest of my life, which we may or may not get into later on in the video. But the reason why that got me into Halo was because we had Halo Nights. LAN parties, whatever you want to call it, at the vault about, I don't know, once or twice a month. They had been doing LAN parties for years. After I started going to the store and all that is when I got invited. Zach, who was the owner of the store, he ended up becoming one of my very best friends, even though we don't talk that much anymore. For a long time, I did consider him my best friend. And he introduced me to a lot of people. But at the first Halo night that I went to, the very first Halo night I went to, we were all going to play Get Nated Teammate. We were all going to play Halo 3 on the original 360. This was in 2012. I think about August of 2012, maybe even earlier than that. Almost got killed there too. That was pretty close. It was in probably August of 2012, and I knew nothing about Xbox. I had been a PlayStation fanboy my whole life, had never really played Xbox at all, and then I got to this Halo night, and they said, well, we'll just sign you in with a random profile. Because Halo 3 had a feature where it randomly generates guest profiles. And there's a set of, I don't know, 15 or 20 randomly generated names. And they're all really simple. Like, one of them was Cupid. What are some others? Cupid. I don't know why that's the only one that's coming to mind. Anyway, doesn't matter. There were several names that it could have been. I ended up getting randomly assigned Hippo. 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 And at the time, I was a little offended. I didn't really know these guys. I didn't know the guy that had, set me up on a profile. He assured me that it was completely random, though. And it was funny. I wasn't really offended. I'm a bigger guy. I always have been. And there was a time in my life when I really would have gotten offended by that. And probably been, for lack of a better term, butthurt the rest of the night. And probably never showed up again. But at that point in my life, I was just kind of chilling. It didn't really bother me that much. I teased him a little bit about it and said, that he really shouldn't give the fat kid the name Hippo. But everybody assured me that it was random. So I said, okay, whatever. I kept playing with the name Hippo. Played with it. Triple kill for the Running Riot. So we started playing and having a good time. And the next time we had a Halo night, it was mostly the same people, but there was one addition to the group, a guy that I didn't know, and I was introduced to him as Hippo. Fast forward, almost 5 years, and I'm still Hippo to that guy Jake. Cue the reason why you don't try and assassinate people, you need to just shoot them. Because I could have gotten fucked by that lag spike. But it worked out. So, a lot of times in-game, if I'm playing with Jake, aka Goblivion, also known as C-Todd, Ouroboros in Battle.net games. He goes by many names. And more lag spikes. That was fun. So if you ever hear me and Jake talking, I am always referred to as Hippo, because that's just how he knew me at first. I was introduced to him as Hippo, and it didn't really bother me, so I just kind of went with it at first. And then throughout the years, I've gotten introduced to a couple of his friends, namely Jamie and Caleb, who I still frequently play Diablo with, occasionally play things like Halo with, some other games. But now, because of Jake, they know me as Hippo. A while back, I started playing the game Steep, and I really enjoyed it. And because of that, we coined the nickname Snow Hippo for me. And I was about to actually change all of my social media presence to a Snow Hippo, or the Snow Hippo, including my YouTube, Battle.net, Xbox gamertag. Probably would have created a new PlayStation gamertag, since you can't change your name on PlayStation, which I still think is dumb. PlayStation, fix your shit. Again, get team-nated. But I never really went through with it. I already had established the name Primetime CP23, which I'll briefly go into a little more here in just a minute. And I don't know, for some reason, I just didn't ever fully go through with switching to a Snow Hippo, even though Twitch decided to start allowing you to change your username, or your URL rather, and some other just things like that. YouTube, I could have changed the name. I actually did change the name on Battle.net. Battle.net allows you one free name change, and I used it. So on Battle.net, I am a Snow Hippo. And I've had a few people ask me why I made that change, and I never really made a video or anything explaining it to people. So I thought that for my 100th video, it would be a good time to explain. As for Primetime, in high school, I was really into journalism. I was the sports editor of my high school newspaper. I've always loved sports, and in high school, I needed a name for my column, aka a column in newspaper terms is like an opinion piece that is written from the writer's perspective. It doesn't necessarily have to be it doesn't have to be objective, and you're just given a whole lot of leeway as to your topic and how you discuss said topic. So, and I had a column and I needed a name for it. So I got to thinking, well, what can I use as my column name? And I decided on Primetime with Phillips, which is my last name. and it just kind of stuck, and I kept the name Primetime for that column until I no longer had a column, which is when I graduated high school. And then after the whole Hippo thing, I decided, well, you know, I don't really want to be known as Hippo, which at that time I didn't want to be. I don't really care now, which is why I'm telling you this story, which is why my username on Battle.net is Hippo. But at the time, I didn't really want that to be how I was known. So I thought, well, maybe I can just use Primetime. And I looked around, and to my knowledge, there were no notable people using the name Primetime in any esports or like YouTube content creators or anything. So I just kind of went with it. I went with Primetime. I added CP23, Chris Phillips 23. 23 was my basketball number. I played basketball for 9 years competitively, I think. Yeah, I think it was 9 years. And I really enjoyed. This is the part of the game that I'm not really proud of because the game is about to end, and I just didn't want to die. It had occurred to me by this point that I had not died, and I wasn't about to die. Not right here. Not with a minute and a half left in the game, when the game is probably going to go to time. So I'm not super proud of this, but, you know, what are you going to do? It was my first attempt at a perfection. As a matter of fact, outside of custom games, I don't think I've even sniffed a perfection. Just because the way that I play, I'm usually running around, trying to do stuff, trying to get stuff done. I always try and play the objective, except for this game. This is obviously not a good depiction of how I play in a normal game, because I was so focused on the sniper. I was just statting so hard. I think I was probably working on weapon commendations. BRB.
30 seconds left.
Sorry, talking for 17 minutes tends to dry out the throat. But yeah, I mean, just the way that I play, I just don't normally have a lot of opportunity to get perfections because I'm constantly trying to run into bases and, you know, make plays happen. And then my general map awareness and such is not as high as it really needs to be for how I play, and that leads to, you know, me getting ninja'd and, you know, all kinds of crap like that happening that I'm not super proud of. But what are you gonna do? I've played a lot of Halo, and the fact that I have not really gotten any better tells me that I'm just not that great at first-person shooters, which I'm okay with. I don't mind that I'm not the best Halo player in the world. That's a little annoying. I was gonna show you my commendations and stuff, but I guess I won't. I mean, I played a crap ton of Halo 3. Obviously, I had SR 130, all specializations mastered. See if I have any other notable clips I can show you till I'm done talking. Oh, I got a fun one. Where is it? I think this is it. But, Yeah, I don't know too much else, everybody. I just wanted to take a little bit and talk to you all about my Halo career, how I got started doing YouTube and stuff. So let's back that one up real quick. And we'll show it. How do you escape here? It's been a long time since I used this feature. Okay, so there's me. Fell down, I threw the grenade. Stuck. Boom! Got them both. And that first guy that I was shooting at fell down the map, so... yeah. Oh, Halo 4 was fun. And I honestly believe that. I know a lot of people hated Halo 4, and that's really a topic for another day. But personally, I loved Halo 4. It was the first Halo that I really, really grinded at and really played a lot of. And I just had a blast. So... but anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we have made it. That is 100 videos down. I started making frequent content. Frequent, I say. I started making content on this channel on July 15th of 2016. It's currently April 10th of 2017. So it's been like, what, 8 months? Something like that. I'm only at 16 subscribers, but that number has grown just in the last month. In the last month, I've had more video traffic, I've posted more videos, and gained more subscribers than I had in the first 7 months of doing things on this channel. So, we're on the right track. It's just a matter of me keeping up the grind and keeping up content that people want to see. And hopefully you will see this video and, you know, get a little more insight into how I became the gamer that I am. And hopefully you'll stick around for the next 100. I plan to have over 200 views by the time my 1 year anniversary comes around here in a few months, and ideally we will be over 600 videos by my 2 year anniversary. So yeah, please stay tuned for the grind. Make sure to share this video with your friends if you enjoyed it. And ladies and gentlemen, until next time, this is Primetime CP23, and I am out.